And I've not eaten. Let me turn my thing down.
You might need to because you bag is fumbling and ruffly, ridiculous.
Wow.
So welcome back again to It's an Okay Podcast. I'm a co-host, Bethy.
I'm Samelia.
Turn your mic up, Corinne, now.
That's my bad. What I said was, I'm not doing all that shit. That's what I said. Just in case you missed it.
Oh, man. He's starting early.
I'm playing. Hey, y'all. I'm really hungry. I promise my mood will change once the food digests.
Oh, my goodness.
Well,
how are you ladies doing?
I actually am doing really well. I just got back from Ulta and I finally got this perfume that I have been eyeing, but it's like $135 and I just don't feel right spending that much money on something to make me smell good when you could just shower.
I'm weak. What? Whose perfume is it? Like, what line is it?
It's Valentino.
Bobby Valentino. Tell us more about this perfume.
To be perfectly honest, I feel like it pulls different on each person, right? Yeah. Like when I first sprayed it, I couldn't smell anything. And now that my pheromones have like set into it, it's giving really good. Wow. I want to jump my own bones. And I only sprayed it on my arm.
Wow. Did you guys see the debacle about Rihanna's perfume?
Is it bad? I didn't see that one.
No, I don't know what it, like, I guess it cost a lot of money and people were like, who's going to pay that much for a perfume? So like Rihanna did this like slideshow of people saying she smells good. But do you remember that time we were in TJ Maxx and her perfume was in TJ Maxx and we sprayed it and it was like, it smelled so good.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that because I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever smelled in my entire life. Yes, you did. It was good perfume.
Yeah.
Rihanna should sell perfume and I think everyone should buy it, honestly.
I just think it's funny because I did have her perfume and I was actually sad when that Rihanna perfume because I could never find it again.
I think it was like a test thing. Sorry, I'm eating, y'all.
Yeah, clearly.
It's not professional, but like it's real. I'll stop talking until
yeah, just like digest it and chew away from the phone. Because some people could be like, what's it called when you don't like hearing people chew?
Corinne is that person. She does.
I know. That's why it's like weird. Like, why are you in here doing?
It's only with bristles. It's only with bristles.
Okay.
So
yeah, we'll get to that later. That should be a topic. Phobias.
Anyway.
Well, today's episode is about dating apps. Yay.
And you know I'm on all of them.
Oh my gosh.
You got the sexpert here.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we're going there. Interesting. Okay, Beth, you start off. I feel like you're the app expert.
So, just to give like if I had like a dating profile, which I do, I typically put in my bio, I didn't say like the typical like not here for a long time, here for a good time, but I put something to the equivalent of like, may the best man win.
That's all it says.
Yeah, with an upside down smiley face. May the best man win. Swipe right to find out. That's what it says. May the best man win. Swipe right to find out. And most people swipe right. Some of them swipe left because it's like, dang, this girl's playing games. Sure is. Welcome.
Wow. Wow.
I like to look at myself like Jigsaw.
Wait, what?
I'm scared. I'm frightened. I'm a little frightened right now.
Where's this going? Continue.
Jigsaw, like the movie Saw. I mean, I'm not killing people.
Well, that's comforting.
I'm scared. I'm hitting the panic button.
No, I'm not killing people. I'm just saying, like, you want to play a game?
What's your profile?
Wow. I'm sorry. I had to digest that. Whoa. Okay.
Am I wrong? Do you know how many guys are out here on these apps? First of all, the age that we're in with these dating apps is that people that are on these apps, like, because you guys know me, when I was younger, I was such a romantic. But the more I've gotten older and I'm just like, you know what, the stuff that I come across on these apps and the people, I'm just like, okay, like the Libra is the sign of the mirror. We mirror what we are given. So if you're giving me that energy, why not give it back?
Right. Corinne, what about you?
I am in my no dating app stage right now. Before I was on her, I was like downloading dating apps from TikTok. Like TikTok would tell you about a dating app and I would download it. But I quickly deleted it because it felt like I just walked into like a dark, leaky hallway.
Which app was this?
Should I say it?
I don't know. Maybe text us about it.
Yeah. We're not trying to like downplay any of these apps. I also don't want to get sued by these app companies for calling them out, but
I'm not calling anybody out. I'm saying my experience felt like a dark alleyway. Just speaking my experience.
Speaking your truth.
And it was quite terrifying. When I'm on dating apps, I don't know what I'm doing up there, honestly. I've had like a 0.001% good rate. People swipe on me, but then it's like, where does it go after that?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And so like, I feel like it's the same conversations. I just feel like they're not saying anything interesting, you know? But like on the flip side, neither am I, you know?
What?
We're just looking at each other. We're literally just looking at each other.
It's like that Diddy meme.
Oh yeah, or when he's on stage.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
They're just staring each other down.
Yeah.
In an awkward abyss. What about you, Sonelia?
Okay, so I tend to I have two different approaches to dating apps, and I feel like I'm pretty successful on them. Depending on the app, sometimes I won't put anything. I'll just add pictures. And that's just, you know, if I'm like bored and I'm just like, oh, let me just get on this app and see what it's about.
Yeah.
But if I when I was trying to be serious, because I am in a relationship now, so I just want to put that out there.
Oh, she had to put that out there.
She had to put that in there. Shout out to Boo Thang.
She couldn't wait to say that. No, I feel
no,
like
it's not that I can't wait to say it. You just never want to be talking about if you're in a relationship. You don't want to, like,
it's just a respect.
Yeah, I would drag my man straight through the mud.
What?
Excuse me?
Record scratch? What did you say?
I said I would drag my man through the mud on these apps. I'm just kidding.
No. I am in a relationship. But like when I was active on apps, I would either just do pictures or I would like keep it real short and sweet. Maybe do like 2 truths and a lie. It'd always be like lover of life. At first, I wouldn't put that I had a child because I mean people are creepy. So like I don't share pictures with my child in those pictures, and I wouldn't talk about it. I'm like, if we get further along, then it'll come up. But then Beth and I were talking about it once, and she was just like, I think you should just, you know, be open, like upfront, like just say, you know, mother of one, blah blah blah. So I in my last like round of being on apps, I guess I had like lover of life, mother of the coolest kid.
That's the truth.
Yeah, because it's the truth.
Yeah, maybe
that's my kid isn't born yet, but you know.
Maybe it's my approach because like my Tinder bio says looking for a live band.
Wait, what?
Maybe it's my approach. I ain't trying to fuck. I'm trying to literally get to the top of the charts, bro. Seriously.
And so you went to Tinder to do that.
This girl said,
leave me alone. I don't know what else to do.
Ma'am, I have so many questions. I don't think we have enough time. I feel like I'm gonna have to unpack that.
I don't know where else to find people. So I'm like, maybe I'll find someone who plays an instrument. Is that wrong? Is that wrong?
Oh, I mean, it's wrong. I mean, have you been successful?
No.
Okay. Wrong is irrelevant. I just, you know, I think you just have to ask yourself if you're getting what you want. And if you're not, then maybe you should modify your approach.
Yeah, no. I feel that. I'm going to accept that advice. Thank you.
Yikes. I'm so weak.
Well, you guys have great bios. I love you guys' bios.
Yeah, I definitely I feel like I'm like an OG of like dating apps because I've like dated people from dating apps like a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
apps that I don't even know. Well, they were like websites. That's how old they were. They weren't even apps. They were like websites. So like back in the day, like probably over 7 or 8 years ago, like I had dated people that I met from like dating websites. And yeah, I think if you just approach it with like not trying to be too serious, I guess there's two schools of thought. Like some people are like, if you're trying to get married, go up there and be like, you know, I want my eggs cracked.
Whoa.
I want my last name dropped, which means I want to be married. But for me, I tend to have more success when I'm just like I approach things from like activity standpoints. Like I'm interested in this. Let me see if I can find someone who wants to do this activity with me. So I feel like for the most part, I have good success. I like it just because I tend to be more introverted.
I was going to say, do you guys like dating apps? Do you like being on dating apps?
I don't like dating. That's the thing. I don't mind dating app. I don't like dating in general.
I would not have a problem with dating apps if more people were like me and a little bit more forthcoming with what they wanted. Because my thing about it is like, look, if you're just trying to take it to Pound Town, say that. But like people will get on these apps and they'll be like, oh, but soft and light, yonder window breaks. It is the east and Juliet is the sun. And I'm like, why? Why are you singing in sonnets? Like, ma'am, sir, please. Yeah. Just tell me what you want.
Yeah.
You want me to come over right now? Say less. If that's what I want to do, maybe I will. If it's not, swipe left.
Right. Do you feel like you find so like basically, I don't know if that's considered catfishing, or is there like another?
What? It's app fishing because they're on this app capping.
Oh, so I'm a catfish? Is that what you're saying? No,
you're capping.
Well, listen, I am looking for a live band. So if anybody out there listens to this podcast and you know someone who plays an instrument,
this is not my love. What is happening?
You just told me to stop capping on my apps, so I'm using the other resources I know. I mean, I'm kidding around. I'm not kidding. Anyway, I think Beth is really good at dating apps. I don't think I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like because Beth is a little bit more like sprightly in her conversation, whereas I am Eeyore. So it's like harder for someone who's like a little bit more like recluse to like be out there, which I feel like is the energy that you need if you're going to be on a dating app. You know what I mean?
Like you're more out there than I am.
Do you?
Yeah. What do you think, Beth?
No, I feel like Corey is a lot more like, leave me to my peace and like quiet. I don't want to be bothered.
No, yeah, I really am Eeyore.
But he gives very much Eeyore vibes. Like I give Tigger.
You are so Tigger.
I give Tigger vibes, and Similia, you are like a mix between
Kanga. You are Kanga.
Kanga and like Kanga and what's his freaking name?
Mr.
Not
Owl.
the owl.
No, Mom is the owl.
Yeah, the rabbit. You're like a mix between the rabbit and Kanga.
Okay.
I'm seeing Kanga so much because little man is Rue. Like 1000%. Hopping along everywhere. Like just talking.
Can't go anywhere without his mom. She's like, here's my pouch, jump in it.
But y'all are like besties, literally.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I don't know what okay, I know the characteristics of Eeyore and Tigger, but the rabbit
was always in his garden. He's like very particular.
Mm-hmm.
He was always about time, like everything had to be on time. Like, yeah, Rabbit was like a little mini kind of perfectionist somewhat because he's like
the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah,
and then Kanga
was motherly. Kanga was very like,
but like Kanga had like a shoulder bounce to her. You know what I mean? Like she was like,
she had a little swag.
She did. She was like motherly and she would scoop her like son up when she needed to, but like she was really like chilling, you know? Kanga was a vibe. She was really giving like Miss Cleo, Erica vibe.
I'm dead, not Miss Cleo.
Not Miss Cleo.
Like it was a vibe, you know?
Okay. All right.
I'll take it.
So what is your dating app equivalent to Winnie the Pooh characters? Weigh in now.
Oh, this is a BuzzFeed test now. Cool. Love that.
Honestly. But yeah, I feel like I'm a little bit more inward than you because I feel like I really am like a concave. Like I'm inward a lot of the time. I feel like with you, there's balance to your inwardness. Me, I'm like,
if she don't want to be there, she don't want to be there. And
I
It's
feel
so funny
so
because I feel
bad.
like Corey, you're like such a great conversationalist. I would think that you would be like.
I used to didn't think Corey talked. It wasn't until recently, like I've seen her actually. Like if Corey does not want to talk, she's not gonna want to talk. But like within the past year or so, I would say Corey has like definitely come and she's had more conversations with me than I think I've ever had with her. Like we live together. I've lived here since 4 years.
Listen.
And she never really wanted to talk. Now she's like, she'll come in and just tell me a whole story, and I'm like, I know everything.
I feel like it's just good to give people their space because like we're all figuring stuff out, you know?
Yeah.
It's like we still know where each other is. We just don't know where each other is.
Right. Like we keep up with each other. We pass each other in the kitchen, you know?
Teacher pass in the night. I got it. So would you guys recommend like dating apps to your friends who are like looking for love?
Yes and no. It just depends on what kind of love you're looking for.
Say more about that.
Okay. So certain apps, you'll get certain things. There's some apps that are used for hookups. I don't recommend those. Yeah, I don't recommend those.
Okay.
There's other apps that I'm on that I would say, because I've been on like, I think I've been on like at least every app. I've been on like the millionaire matchmaking apps. I've been on the ones where it's just like, I mean, I haven't been on Farmers Only or anything like that. or POF, none of that. But I've been on the ones where you're on meet regular schmegular degulas, but I've also been on the apps where you can meet a millionaire, but that'll catfish you because y'all, one time I went on a date from one of those millionaire match apps. This is a side note. And the man, he was 54. Let me tell you something. That man showed up. He had varicose veins in his hands. He was 74. And I've never been so angry in my life because he didn't even look like anything. Like, sir, you played me.
But does it matter if that's
yes,
not, I mean,
it matters.
Okay, why does it matter?
Because I have a cutoff. First of all, you're older than my parents.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, so that's your cutoff.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's just like a boundary. Yeah,
that's a boundary, and you crossed it. Like your dating app said you were this age.
She's so perplexed.
I know her brain is literally short circuiting.
Because I was like upset. Like I'm like, imagine showing up. Somebody is like, yeah, their profile says they're 45 or 44, and you show up. This person is 30 plus their age.
Yeah.
You would be like, oh no.
Yeah.
And I had literally walked by the guy twice, hadn't even realized it was him. He was that old.
Wow.
Liver spots in his hands.
He watched you walk by twice and was like, damn. The more she walks by, the better she's gonna be. he was prepared for it. As soon as you walked by him the first time, he was like, oh crap.
Basically, what I'm hearing is there are hookup apps, there are relationship apps, and then there are like hustler apps.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an app for everything.
I
told you I was on the dark web. I will never do it again. I swear.
Oh, okay. So I think I've used one of those dark web dating apps, especially when I was like getting my mojo back.
Yeah.
And I think it's all about like managing your own expectations, right? Like obviously I didn't access the app from the dark web. It was in the app store.
Yeah.
So it was
just so everyone knows. We're just saying,
everyone knows.
it felt like the apps feel like leaky dark hallways. Okay, that's what we're saying.
And so, like with this particular app, it connected through Snapchat. So you already know what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, I was surprised. I'm like, God, like just said hello. Like what? Please stop.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Snapchat. I can't with Snapchat.
Snapchat is an app for hoes.
Yeah, I know. That's what you told me. I didn't realize that, but apparently, guys.
Think about it. The whole reason that people use Snapchat is to not get caught, because when text message, there's a paper trail.
Yeah.
Snapchat, it deletes on both parties' ends. So people, unless they save it or screenshot it, and then if they take a screenshot, it alerts you that they took a screenshot. If they try to screen record it, it alerts
you. Yeah.
So it's like Snapchat is the ultimate hoe app, and that's why when a guy, it's also a turn off on dating apps when he's like, you got a Snapchat? It's an instant turn off. I'm like, nope, not going there with you, because you're the kind of man that probably has a wife and kids at home and you want to have a little something on the side. And I'm just not. I am not macaroni and cheese.
That's your, oh my God.
That's your housewife tagline.
Not macaroni and cheese.
I'm not macaroni and cheese. I'm the whole meal.
No, I feel that. I feel like Snapchat, like what's your Snapchat, is definitely one of my dating app red flags.
Right. Okay. So aside from apps that connect through Snapchat, if you're saying if you're on a dating app and someone says, "What's your Snapchat?" You're like,
instant red flag.
Yeah.
Okay.
It should be like your number one deterrent from talking to someone further. And because it's like, the first, you asked for my Snapchat, you didn't even ask for my number. You could have asked for my number before you asked for my Snap. That right there alludes to the fact that you are just in this to hook up. And I don't need to further this, because if I'm not looking to hook up, then there's no point of us continuing.
Right. That's fair. I think when I was because I didn't want any like actual relationship at the time, I just kind of wanted to get my feet wet a little bit.
Yeah.
Like when I did it and downloaded it, I'm like, okay, I did meet like probably like two people, I think, where like we had a continuous conversation situation for a couple months. And, you know, I didn't believe Beth at first, but then after I did it, I'm like, yeah. You remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I feel like if you're, depending on where you are in your like relationship quest, like if you're just trying to get out there, I think sometimes those like low stakes apps are not bad. I don't think it's a bad thing, because it definitely like taught me some lessons. As long as you're not, you know, sharing any of your personal information or like giving, you know, your location, because that could become unsafe. But if you're just doing it to kind of get used to talking to people again, you know, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, as long as you observe your own boundaries. What would you recommend to friends who are looking for love, or would you recommend apps?
I haven't had a success rate on there, so I wouldn't say yeah, you know? I feel like if you've had success on an app, then you would feel more inclined to be like, yes, of course. Like I found, you know what I mean? So I feel like because I've never found that, I don't want to say no, because I don't want it to cut off that for someone else who could. But I'm not going to say yes, because like, if you're anything like me, you would be like, what the hell?
I think it's, well, Beth, I'll let you go first and then I'll give my 2 cents.
I would recommend if it was based, like, dependent upon what they were looking on. And I would give you insight, like how I gave you when you would call me and ask me about the apps. I was like, I gave you the breakdown. Every time it was, did I hit or did I miss?
You hit.
She said, was I right or was I right?
Well, because the only 2 options I have are that you were right. I'm going to say you were right.
I literally said, did I hit or did I miss? You could have said I missed.
It was a joke. It was a joke. You were right.
All I wanted to know.
Not her knowing that the answer was yes, and still getting mad that we pointed out that the only answer was yes. Anyways, what were you saying, Celie? What were you saying before you go?
Oh, I think that like when it comes to with me recommending it, it really depends. I think oftentimes like you should be honest with yourself about what you're looking for with dating apps, right? So like if you're not trying to be in a relationship, like say that, just like Beth was saying. If you're looking for marriage, then you should say that too, because there are people on the apps that are looking for marriage.
Some people are looking for live bands.
Some people are looking for live bands.
So you're saying to be honest, but when I'm honest,
I'm telling you, this might not be the right medium.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's what I'm saying. I applaud your honesty. It just doesn't seem like there are other people looking for bands or to join a band. And so it just might not be the right venue. You know?
Yeah.
Read the room a little bit. Have you guys had any like dating app horror stories?
I mean, aside from that, like one time no, what are we laughing at? Which one are you laughing at?
Oh, your coat.
Oh, so the only dating app horror story I will tell you, there was this really hot guy. I met him on Hinge. I'm just going to say the app because like Hinge is supposed to be like one of those apps where it's like, I found really good, cute guys on Hinge. Like there's a guy I'm talking to right now. He's a little bit of an asshole, but I like him. So I'm gonna stick beside him. Look at this.
That's mine, and I'm gonna stick.
That's mine. I'm gonna stick beside him. I just feel like he's like a wounded dog, and so he's probably been
I
hurt.
hope
So
he's not listening.
I don't care if he is. I already told you I keep it real with my people. He's like a wounded dog, and so for me, dealing with him, it's like I like how he is because I'm like, you know what? I feel like he's a really nice guy in there, and I feel like he's just gone through some stuff. That's that Libra thing for me. We fix people. Anyways, back to my horror story. So Hinge was the app that I'm like, wow, I thought I found it. I paid for the app. It's been great. It was going great. I was meeting a nice guy. Well, I meet with this guy. We go to the beach, and like I FaceTime my mom. He like talks to my mom. FaceTime. I think I FaceTimed you that day. That the first time I ever talked to him, Samalia. Or it was either you or mom. And then we hung out for a little bit at his apartment. And then he was moving out of that one. And we didn't talk after that. Like after that, we never spoke again. And then one night I ran into him. So we go home together. And the next day, I'm getting my stuff together to leave. I remember bringing my freaking jacket to the living room. But when I left, I don't know what was going on in my mind. I left it, I guess, there on the couch, even though I thought I picked it up, but it wasn't there. So I leave the house and I text him. I'm like, oh shoot, like, hey, I left my jacket at your house. He was running a marathon that day, and so he's like, yeah, I'll get it to you later in the evening. Well, then he decided to go get drunk after his marathon, and I was like hitting him up like, hey, like, are you home? Like, I really want to get my stuff from you, because like in my head I was like, I'm never gonna hang out with this fool again. Like, he just does the most. And I kid you not, this man was like, I don't want to give you your jacket back because I know you'll never talk to me again. And I was like, hold up. This is what we're not going to do. Because it was one of those nice... Huh?
I said, bro, what?
Bro, what? He was like, yeah, you're not, I'm not, I don't want... He hid my jacket. So he hid it from me, which is why I couldn't find it when I was leaving. And I didn't think about it because I didn't see it. It was out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
So
he hid your jacket.
He hid my jacket and was like, I didn't want to give it to you because I feel like you'll never talk to me again. That, y'all know me about my clothes. I am serious about my clothes. If you take my stuff, we're just gonna fight.
I mean, I think you're serious about your stuff in general.
Yeah. Fast forward, this man's trying to keep my jacket. So you know what I did? I'm the kind of person where I can get to a location off of memory. If I've gone there once, I can pretty much do like I can go back to wherever I was off of landmarks. So I decided I didn't have his address because, we took an Uber. But when I was in the Uber, even though I was kind of tipsy, I remembered a lot of the landmarks that I went to. So I drove back the same path that I drove to his house from my house, found his house, broke into that house.
Oh, gosh.
Stole my jacket back. And when I say broke into his house, I broke the door down.
I don't know.
I'm like, can we put this out there?
I don't know. You went to unconventional effort.
But it needs to be told. It's not like it does. Because at the end of the day, it was years ago and he stole something from me. Sorry, officer, but I ain't take nothing that wasn't mine.
Oh my gosh. That's mine and I'm gonna stick beside it.
Yeah, but like that's the length I went to like that is probably one of the worst dating app stories that I've had, because it was like, what? You're not gonna give me my things back because you think I'm never gonna talk to you? Well, now I'm never gonna talk to you ever again, you weirdo.
Right.
What's your horror story?
I honestly have only met up with like 2 people from a dating app.
Were they not weird?
No. I'm telling you, it takes a lot for like, you have to, how much you have to get through just to have a conversation with me. Yeah. I feel like if we're hitting it off that well, like, you can't be weird,
Right.
Because it just takes so much energy out of me just for us to even get to the point where we're meeting up,
Yeah. I don't have any like bad experiences in person. I have some with like, people that I met who were just super, super toxic, unhealthy people.
Yeah.
Because I'm always like, sometimes I can be a little Pollyanna when it comes to people. I'm like, oh no, I mean, everyone's good and they're coming from a good place, and that's just not the case. And so actually, it's more than like a horror story. I think it's just more like a cautionary tale for people who tend to be more like
Not a
trusting.
tale from the crypt.
Tales from the crypt. I think for people who tend to be more trusting, if you're going to use dating apps, you should probably having your friends or your family or people who love you like along for the journey with you, so they can be like, yeah, no, that's a red flag, sweetie. Like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, for sure, 1000%. Just to shift the conversation a little bit, I'm the person on dating apps who is like looking for the couples on dating apps.
Are you trying to be a unicorn or something? Like,
I am a unicorn. Like,
oh my god,
I am a unicorn. Like, I'm very proud of
She
that.
did tell me this when I found out that she like meets up with couples. I was like, really? I was like, what the hell, Corey? She was like,
Yes,
what?
girl.
I didn't want to. I was gonna go hook up with this couple last night, and I was like, looking at her like, what the hell?
I will say for Tales from the Crypt, for couples, like, have conversations with them, because sometimes I feel like it's just the men on there having the conversation and on behalf of like their, you know what I mean? Like, make sure you're speaking to an actual couple and not just like somebody hiding behind like their couples.
Yeah.
There, you know?
Yeah, that's actually something that I learned from the Snapchat like dating app. Is so obviously like when I went through a divorce.
Somebody's outing herself right now. Do it, queen.
Yes,
Do it, queen.
yes, queen. Since everyone else is telling their story, I'll join. No, so like after I went through a divorce, I'm like, okay. I was just like trying to like find my center again. And I was like, and so there was one guy that I was talking to, granted, he lived in a completely different country. And like, this is during lockdown. So there was no way that I was going over there, which is what I liked about talking to him.
Yeah.
So he was really nice. And so he said something and he mentioned like a girl. So I was like, oh, is that your girlfriend? He's like, no, I'm polyamorous. And I was like, polyamory. Is that something that I could do? Like, just thinking through it, because I wanted to like give myself space to like think through these things.
Yeah. And when you asked me what I say,
why did you say what you said?
I said you couldn't. So
yeah,
get rid of them.
I did a lot of things but I think it's important to be open and allow yourself to like figure it out and to think through it. Is this something I could be like casual, right? Like another thing. I was like, yeah. I'm like, can I be a casual person? And literally everyone in my life is just like, sweetie, that's cute, honey. But like, you're the furthest thing from casual. But now I know that.
Yeah.
Anyways. But with this guy, like, I was like, okay, this is a polyamorous relationship. Is this? People are talking about it more and more. Is this something that I could actually like do? And I was telling one of my friends who's also a Libra. Shout out to Erica. And she was just like, when it comes to polyamorous relationships, you always need to make, if this is something that you're going to do, you need to make sure that you talk to both people in the couple, because oftentimes, like Insecure, if you've seen Insecure, like I'm not 100% convinced that Dro's wife Candace was aware that he was, in an open relationship. Like he was in an open relationship.
Ethical non-monogamy and non-ethical.
Right. But some people are more open about that than others. And if someone's non-ethically non-monogamous, how would you even know?
Right.
So I think that's just something, ultimately that is not a lifestyle that's for me. It's just not. But I think that if that is a route that you're going to take, you should be aware that there are still boundaries that need to be observed. Yeah. Because you're dealing with people, you're dealing with their emotions.
That's what I said to you. Yeah. I was like, listen, when you're in a relationship with multiple people, you're catering to multiple emotions. Think about that long and hard.
And when you said that, because I remember I had called Beth, and Beth was just like, you're trying to be a side chick. No, Beth, that's not how it is. And we went back and forth on the phone for like 45 minutes. And so I was like, Beth, you're not understanding me. And she was like, no, I understand. You're trying to be a side chick. I was like, no. And so then I called Corey and I'm like, Corey, what do you think about this? And she's like, you're catering to the emotions of two different people. And I was like, yeah, no, that's a lot.
It is a lot. It's stressful. So I feel like you should definitely only do it if you you know what I mean? That was my whole thing is do you really want to do this?
But when you broke it down like that, I was like, yeah, no, that's not the lifestyle for me.
Yeah.
But hats off to y'all if that's what you want to do.
that's why I just like, in terms of being like a unicorn, I'm not dating people, you know? I'm just hooking up with couples. I'm the person they'll never see again, you know? They need
And
one.
you're okay with that?
Yes.
Really?
Honestly, I used to watch the Swinger show.
Oh my gosh. I'm learning so much about you guys right now. I'm trying to stay in like the sister space and not put my mom hat back on right now. So I'm just listening.
Oh yeah. No, girl, it's fine. Like, I'm being safe, you know?
Okay.
Am I though?
You said what?
I can't.
Did you say am I though?
Maybe.
Girl,
Okay, continue, Corinne.
Are you out here raw dogging?
Please, guys, enough. I can't take it. Can you guys talk about this at home?
We are at home.
Y'all, please be safe out there. Whatever route you go down, just be safe.
Yeah.
What are you guys' top 3 dating apps and why?
Can I go first?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna just do the top 3 that I've only used. Okay. Her, I like her. I'm gonna give that one a number 1. It makes me feel like I'm on an episode of the L Word. Number 2, I think I would have to go Bumble. I mostly use Bumble BFF, and I actually did find a few friends on there. And then Tinder last, because I feel like I used to watch like these guys I used to hang out with on apps, and they would just be like scrolling yes on every single girl, and I'm like, why do you do that? Like, I don't understand that. They're like, yeah, this is what you have to do. I'm like, that is not what you have to do.
Oh yeah, because they look at it like a numbers game.
I guess. I just find that so weird. So I would get like, so I get a lot of people who are like, I feel like are just swiping on me for a numbers game. And so.
What's a numbers game, man?
Like, the more people that you swipe right on, the more options you have. And so you're playing your odds as opposed to just swiping on the people that you like. So I like 3 people. If I only swipe on those 3 people, if they don't like me, then I don't win. But if I see 6 people and I swipe on all 6, then maybe I'll get 1 or 2.
So yeah, that's why Tinder's my last. Actually, I would rank Tinder like 7 on my list of top 3.
Beth?
I think I really like, I'm going to say Hinge is number 1. I liked Bumble, but like, you know, the women start the conversation, and I'm not really a fan of Sadie Hawkins dances anyway. So I'm going to get into, yeah, it's very Sadie Hawkins dance.
It does.
And so it's like, for me, it's like, I'm very much like, I want the man to approach me full force. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was coming at them with some really good, you know, one-liner to get them to talk. But I just feel like I don't know. I liked it at first, but if I'm being honest, if I send a like and they send a like, I want them to reach out first.
Yeah.
Tender is when I am bored and I know somebody wants to give me attention. Put some thirst traps up there as my images, and I got matches.
So Hinge, Bumble, Tinder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For me, I'd say Bumble. I think what you're saying is exactly right with Bumble. So I think it is very much Sadie Hawkins dance, because you're like, hey, and then because women have to start the conversation. But I think if you're going to use Bumble, like, you can definitely be strategic in how you're doing it. So like, obviously, like, I'll reach out first because you have to. But if the guy doesn't lead the conversation from there, then I won't continue a conversation with them. So I think most recently where I live, I've had a lot of success with Bumble. There's an app called United Young, which I'm sure neither of you have ever used. It's a Christian dating app.
Oh yes, Christian Mingle.
Actually, I know people who've been successful with Christian Mingle, so I'm not,
Oh, we're not hating. We're not knocking. I just love the sound of Christian Mingle. Christians who mingle.
Yes. So United Young was cool. They have like a BFF option as well. So I actually have had more. I met 2 people on that for the limited time that I was on it, but I like it because they make you actually fill out questions about your faith. And so it's not just put up picture that's like, what does your relationship with Jesus mean to you? And so you get to read through how people have answered that. And there are still people who are like, Jesus is my homeboy. And so if that's what you're looking for, then, you'll find it. But there are other people who actually like take time and fill it out. So I like that one. I think it's a very thoughtful app. And I've met one girl as like on the BFF side of it, and we still like keep in contact, and she sends me like Bible study links, like Zoom Bible study links. Yeah, she's really, really nice. Tinder, I mean, I think I put Tinder there just because it's like the OG at this point. And so like I actually don't find the people on Tinder to be very serious where I live, but I know people who have met and married people that they met on Tinder. And there's another app, which is a Christian app or like more faith-based, and it's called Cross Paths, which I use. When I use it, I found a lot of like catfish profiles, but I know like maybe one or two couples that met and got married from matches they met on that app.
Right. It could also be used as a dating app, TikTok.
What?
No, I have a friend that literally got famous on TikTok like you did, Corey, and he has met several girls.
I honestly, like 1000% think that you could definitely find someone on TikTok.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah. And I feel like it's easier that way because I'm like, I can see their personalities. I like actually would know what to talk to them about. Like for me, I want to be like able to see like your personality and stuff. Like I really think for me, it's harder to see someone's personality just through a few of their best pictures on a dating app. Whereas like on TikTok, like they're going to be posting what their hobby is. There's a cute girl I follow who posts like vlogs of her day and like what food she went to go eat. So I'm like, oh, she's a foodie. She likes food. I like food. You know what I mean? Like that for me is so much easier than to be like on a dating app and it's like the things we have in common is Black Lives Matter. I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm a fetish to you. So for me, I feel like something like TikTok is easier because I can see more of who you are.
Yeah.
And then that will interest me more than like if I think they're pretty or not. I did want to discuss Tinder getting those like markers on their page because I feel like people were pointing out that it was kind of problematic.
Which markers?
Like you can mark what you have in common. So you could say like, I like photography. I like human rights. Do you guys not know those markers on Tinder?
I know what you're talking about, where it's like what things we have in common, Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. It always, I didn't do it before, but that turned out to be one of my dating app red flags was if I had Black Lives Matter in common with somebody who wasn't Black, because I felt like it was going to be a fetish.
Yeah. That's interesting. I think like unless you actually work in like the social justice like sector, like that's your job. If I see that, I think I too am like suspicious of it. Like, is this just like what do they call it?
Smoking mirror?
No. Virtue. It's virtue signaling.
Oh yes. Yeah. 1000%. Like imagine if you were out like at a bar and someone was like, all I do is win. What up? My name is Matthew. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's like, whoa, bruh, I'm uncomfortable.
It's like, yeah, you're definitely saying it here, but like, what in your actual life do you do to support this cause? And if you do nothing, now I'm starting to feel like a fetish.
Right. Now I'm very uncomfortable. So where do we go from here?
In my experience, I get hit on a lot by the opposite ethnicity.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've noticed is that, they may not have that they support, that in their bio. Yeah. But then it's like, why are you interested in me? Because then you'll turn around and post something that is it's just so non-support of liking me. It doesn't make sense. It's like, right. You like me, but then you post some things like, yeah, I know those BLM people. And it's like, wait, what?
Right.
Do you hear yourself?
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Why?
Dating in general, because somebody was saying like she doesn't like dating, and I think I'm the same. I think I like dating, but I don't think I like dating because it's fun, right? Like, but What happens when that's done? I'm just very pessimistic about dating right now.
Yeah, I feel like this is more about where you are personally. For me, I think where I am now is just kind of letting life unfold, right? Like when you go through something that's like challenging or hard, you're in something that you didn't expect to go through, you're like, oh wait, well, I didn't expect this to happen in my life. So there are a lot of other things that are going to happen in my life that I'm not expecting. So I might as well just buckle up and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, for sure.
And observe my boundaries. One of the, like, a piece of advice that another friend gave me was just to guard your heart. Like, so when you're in these situations, especially if you're someone with a tender heart, I think you have to be really mindful about the things that you expose yourself to. And so just being like, if I am protecting my heart and I'm not like exposing my vulnerabilities too soon to someone that I don't know, and just really allowing myself to be in the moment and enjoy things, then it can be enjoyable.
Yeah.
But when you go into it and you're like, you know, you're beginning with the end in mind, you're like, I'm definitely going to marry this person. You know, like I'm looking for someone to get married. I think sometimes you brush over red flags. You don't really like, you're not very clear on what's actually happening. And then you end up in a situation that you never expected that you'd be in. So I feel like when you're approaching dating, at least what works for me is approaching it from the standpoint of like, this is a new experience and I'm only doing the things that I want to do. If I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, that's good advice.
No, it's great advice. I literally just told a guy the other day, because he did something, one of the things that I just did not like. And I just was like, there was this post and I was like, it's like, it's funny. When you look at someone through rose-colored glasses, all the red flags just look like flags.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like he's got so many pretty flags around him. What
it's
like
that's about? Giving very much United Nations. This is cool.
So I love it.
You're like, no, girl. You need to leave
people
right now.
Love.
You need to run, sis.
Run far away and never return. Like,
I think I get so excited to be around people because I'm not, that I definitely forget sometimes to like hold the reins, because I'm like, I'm not getting excited, dog. I'm like, people, I don't ever see these. Yeah. And I forget, like, they're just people, just like anyone else.
I think even though I don't like dating, it should be this most recent time, like when I went into it, I'm like, I want to learn how to sail. Like, yeah. I was very clear about the things that I wanted to get out of it, and then ended up meeting a really cool guy from that, where it's like, if I wouldn't have found anyone that could teach me how to sail, I was only going to do things that were fun to me. And if I didn't want to do it, then I wouldn't do it.
So true, Bessie.
My only advice on these apps and things in life is just, so there was this quote that I don't know who said it to me, but it was like, never go into these apps and like with people that you like. Never go with the person that makes you like, that you like, because feelings are fleeting. They're always changing, but go into the person that makes you feel go into dating people and these apps with the person that makes you feel safe, the safest, because that person's going to always make sure that you're good. Yeah. So like, I try not to like go after people that I necessarily like, but if they make me feel safe, then I'm like, okay, let me see, even if they might not be, my cup of tea, if they make me feel like I'm gonna be protected, I'm gonna go after them.
Are you telling me to give an ugly man a chance? Is that what you're saying to me right now?
I will tell you never do that.
Have you met Beth?
I was kidding.
My horror stories don't come from the people that I date. They come from my sister's responses of the people that I date to the people that I date. That's actually what's the most scarring, because she does not hold punches, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh Lord. Because I know you didn't tell, you told your truth. You wasn't telling everybody's truth.
I can't. I'm not outing it. It's I'll just say it's not the person that I'm currently dating. We'll just say that. And
oh no, I like the person you're currently dating. I haven't given you anything negative about him. I'm okay with him.
You haven't.
I'm okay with him for now.
Literally a first.
There's always.
Have you seen those things that are like, you don't have to win my mom over. It's my rabbit batshit sister that you have to win over.
But actually.
I just feel like it's good. Like when you're going into dating, it's to knowing that there's people around that care about you. I feel like people are less likely to like play with you. Well, that's our episode about dating apps. I like this episode. It was so much fun. I could have honestly talked about this forever. It's such a good topic.
Well, maybe we'll revisit it next season.
Let us know if you guys would like to hear dating apps too.
Or just know more about our dating life.
True. If you guys want to date me, and I'm kidding.
If you want to be in Corey's band, email her.
Follow us on It's an Okay Podcast. If you would like to be in my band. I'm kidding, but follow us. I'm not kidding about following us. You should definitely follow us. It's fun over there. We put up polls. We post fun graphics. We do recaps from each episode. So give us a follow.
Like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.
Make sure you follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. Shout out to Anchor for giving us this cool platform to make a podcast. I'm Corinne Grace.
I'm Bethy.
And I'm Samelia.
This is It's an Okay Podcast. Have a great day, night. Have a good life.
All the above.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.